Sugar?
2. Please. Sorry. Been here so long I've forgotten my manners. Thanks.
Is your mother going to be okay?
This is the second one. She's never really got a speech back from the first.
Oh, my auntie had a stroke. She lost her speech. She was right as rain in 6 months.
It doesn't rain here. I'm sorry. It's the heat. I just can't come to terms with it somehow. It leaves me...
Not cold, surely.
wrung out. Kids out here, you know, they get worms. You have to worm them. Thought you'd forgotten all about us.
Never.
Am I going to wish you had?
I hope not. I just want a word with Mike, that's all.
Mike's gone fishing.
I don't remember him fishing in the old days, Anne.
No, it's new.
Come on. Where's the river if it doesn't rain?
He took off suddenly last week.
Losing streak? He was always too fond of the horses.
He's not fond of them, he loves them.
Do you know where he is, Anne?
He's done it before. Whenever there's trouble, he just disappears. Comes back eventually.
Does he owe any money? $10 and still no change. Kenny Stone started as a stable lad, Lewis. He was hoping to be a jockey, but someone stole the tea money from the tack room.
That wasn't Mike. He'd have given anything to stay there.
You see, Lewis, how important it is to get the facts right. One wrongful accusation could lead to a whole life of crime.
It was only ever petty crime with him.
There was nothing petty about the Abingdon bank raid, Anne.
Mike wasn't also ran Mr. Morse. He was there because other people told him to be there. You know that as well as I do.
You're very loyal.
Well, what else should I be? When you got Mike to grass...
We persuaded him, Anne. You and me together. This is what you wanted.
Yeah, well... You saved him from one sort of prison, but you condemned us both to another. Sentence for life, that's what you gave us, Mr. Morse. A real old-fashioned marriage. I'm stuck with him and he's stuck with me. Did you ever marry?
No.
You should try it.
Anne? Could you come?
Excuse me.
Doesn't sound like much of a new life you gave her.
No. A promised land full of promissory notes.
So you reckon she doesn't know where he is?
Of course. She's protecting him, as always.
Protecting him from what?
Himself. Why should a woman like that waste her life on a man like him?
What do you reckon about this?
About what?
About who frightened the old lady?
I don't know. Let's hope it's a coincidence. Small place like this, the local police should have a pretty good idea.
Oh, that's what we need.
What for?
Driving around Australia. You can buy them second-hand.
Where are you going?
Just want to find out how much they go for.
Lewis?
Yeah, you buy them cheap in Sydney. And spend a year driving all around looking. Takes at least a year, apparently.
We haven't got a year, Lewis. Mr. Justice Roson's inquiry starts next Monday week.
And when did you look in again?
3:30. About. We're supposed to check them every hour. You must have really scared us, Scott.
He?
Well, no woman would... I mean, an old lady...
Oh, I think we both know who you mean, Sal. Did you see him round this afternoon?
What?
Mike Harding.
Mike? Well, no, I didn't mean that it was...
Sure?
Listen, Scott, I didn't say...
Well, did anyone come in between 2:30 and 3:30 that you didn't know?
Watch carefully, Lewis. A kangaroo cop leaping to the wrong conclusion.
And the door to the veranda, she liked to keep those open to catch the breeze.
So, Mike could have just walked straight in off the road.
It wasn't Mike, I'm sure.
And what about these gentlemen? See them walk in?
No.
Suspicious characters. They drink orange juice.
Only when they're driving.
Glad to hear it. Scott Humphreys, Hereford Police. I hear you're friends of Mike and Anne's.
Word gets around pretty fast in Hereford.
It's a small town. Anyone drinking orange juice on Melbourne Cup Day. See Mike this afternoon?
No.
Pity. He's going to need a good alibi. Do you mind me asking why you didn't tell the Hardings you were coming?
Well, we were just passing through, and I remembered this is where Mike and Anne lived.
Well, you got to be going a long way from anywhere to be passing through Hereford, mate. What are you fellas doing in Australia, anyway?
British government commission, looking at the way you fellows ranch cattle. With the change of climate coming, the greenhouse effect, we think there'll be a lot more cattle ranching in Britain.
Well, I hope you haven't brought that mad cow's disease with you.
You think you bought that?
What do you think he thought we were, policemen? How is she?
She's not too good.
Will she recover, do you think?
I don't know.
Where's Anne?
Ambulance coming in.
You've never had visitors from England before? How long have you known them?
I don't know the younger one. Almost 10 years.
Is he the reason Mike's gone walkabout?
What?
Well, what is he, Anne, an old flame or something?
If you only knew.
Knew what? Well, it makes sense to me. Your old flame turns up after 10 years.
For God's sake, Scott.
Come on, Anne. Mike's mad at you and he takes it out on your mother.
Don't be ridiculous. Well, come and tell him, Mr. Morse. He thinks Mike's the one beat up my mother.
Mike's not a violent type. The opposite.
Oh, yeah? Well, you should have seen what he did to the TAB at Martin's Creek the last time he went AWOL.
TAB's like our betting shops.
Well, he was very angry with himself for losing so much.
Did your mother keep any money in her room?
I look after all the old people's valuables for them.
Jewelry?
Just her rings, and she's still wearing those.
So, if Mike knew there was nothing to take, what would he be looking for?
We're going to have to call in the D's from Trumbull, Anne. Your mother's not too well. It's a serious offence. They're going to want to talk to Mike, that's for sure.
Well, we all want to talk to him. I need to get back. Can you give me a ride into town?
Of course.
Sash, will you call me?
Sure.
You ever hear a cattleman drinking orange juice, Sash?
What do you want here?
Information.
Mike told you everything he knew.
This is something he may not have known he knew. I certainly didn't. Someone turned up at a funeral recently. Someone I wasn't expecting. Someone who might just lead me to Larry Nelson.
For God's sake.
If Mike can make one simple connection. It's a question of justice, Anne. Finally doing justice.
Whose funeral?
Peter Matthews.
What's happened?
We have a bit of a problem in British prisons with AIDS.
See you later.
Larry's the one that should have been in prison all these years, Anne. You know that as well as I do.
Fresh information would mean a new trial.
Could do, yes.
In England, with Mike in the witness box.
Yes,
again.
but...
Cross-examination, journalists...
He can give his evidence behind a screen.
You think a screen will make a difference? I thought 12,000 miles will make a difference. No, Mr. Morse. Sorry. May not look much what we have here, but we've survived. And I want to keep it that way. Thanks for the offer. My family needs me at home. Suggest you go on home yourself.
Anne, you can't think I've come halfway around the world to give up this easily.
What are you afraid of? No one here will know anything about it.
You don't know what it's like. Waking up every morning, seeing a sunshine, then suddenly remembering. 10 years of wondering who's going to come round the corner.
You can't be frightened here, surely.
Those people have long memories.
You have my personal guarantee, Anne. What more do you want? Well, we'll see what Mike says.
He'll say what I say.
You heard what your friends. There's a lot of people going to want to talk to him.
Scott Humphreys is no friend of ours. I should have thought that was obvious.
If Mike won't come to me, and you won't tell me where he is, I'm afraid I'll have to go to Mr. Humphreys and tell him everything.
You're a bastard, Morse. Always were.
We made a pretty good team last time. Are you going to help me or not?
Don't know where he is. If I did, I still wouldn't tell you, but I don't.
What now? We've got to find him. Whether she's lying or not, we've got to find him. Offer her a lift, Lewis. Use your fabled northern charm. I'm going to visit the Hereford police.
Yeah, well, I knew you weren't cattlemen. Not in those shoes.
The thing is, there's a lot of money involved, or we'd have left it to a local contact.
Oh, yeah? How much?
I'm not at liberty to say. But my client is not going to leave a penny of it to Mike Harding unless she can be sure he's changed his ways. She doesn't want to see it all going to the bookies like it used to.
Well, she better give it to Anne. He's still gambling everything he's got.
Well, she won't be pleased to hear that. Nor that he attacks old women. What makes you so sure about that? That wasn't his style in England.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the sun's got to him. Look, they have a row. She's stronger than he is. He takes it out on someone else, like the bloke on the bar stool next to him, or Lily Marchant.
In these circumstances, don't you think that Anne should have some sort of protection?
You're a private detective. You fancy the job?
I just thought...
Look, we run a one-man station here, Mr. Morse. Haven't got time to get involved in domestic quarrels.
Look, if Mike's crazy enough to attack his mother-in-law, don't you think it's possible he might turn on his wife or family next? My colleague could take over in the morning.
We'll see what we can do. Now, who is this little old lady of yours, and why is she so rich when I'm not?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, you amateurs have your little secrets, eh?
There's a son, isn't there, David?
Oh, Dave left home.
What's he doing?
Well, he's working as a roustabout, a place called Columba, about an hour away. What do you want with Dave?
My client might skip a generation, you see, leave it to the kids instead.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, he might know where Mike is. They're always pretty close.
Well, if it's only an hour, I might make a visit.
Well, that's an hour by plane, mate. And you'll have to wait till tomorrow morning, because there's no lights on the landing strip.
Thanks.
Stop! Stop! That's Karen! Karen! Karen!
Where are you going? I've got to do my lengths, Mum. Where were you?
Sorry, love. Where are the twins?
I took them over to my lengths.
Was Dad called again?
No!
Well, did he say where he was?
No!
Well, what did he say?
Nothing!
Hello? Oh, Phil, hi. It's you. No, he's not here. Oh, sorry. No, I don't. No, Yeah, I know, Phil. Yeah, Phil, I know. Look, I've got to go. It's twins. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. God, look at this place. Turn my back for 2 minutes and then make it a pigsty.
I'm sure she'll be okay.
What?
Your mum.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
How long's she been out here, Mrs. Harding?
She came out after Dad died, and if you're supposed to be my friend, you'd better call me Anne.
All right. Sorry, Anne.
Well, I have to fetch the twins now, Sergeant. Thanks for the lift.
All right.
That's an ensuite room. Yes, private sleeve. Okay, yes, that's fine. And you'll be checking by credit card.
Thank you, Liz. I knew you'd come in useful.
And Mrs. Wallace. That Friday. Okay, thanks a lot.
Do you happen to know Anne's mother's name? A real one?
Marchant. Lily Marchant. Why?
She takes the Tilehurst Gazette. Anne had it at the house.
So what?
Peter Matthews is front page news. She made out she didn't even know he was dead.
Why on earth would she lie about that?
Something else occurs to me. The Tilehurst Gazette was done over the week before we came out, remember? Nothing taken, not even petty cash. Well, what would you look for in a newspaper office if not petty cash?
Liars.
Names and addresses.
What?
Subscription lists?
Go on.
Well, suppose somebody knew that Mrs. Marchant was Anne's mother and that she'd come out to Australia, but they didn't know where. And they wanted to know, because they needed her son-in-law's new name and address urgent.
And whoever burgled the office found Lily Marchant's name, came out here, found out she couldn't speak, so ransacked the room. And if this person or persons unknown is or are after him...
then Anne's right to be afraid, after all.
I'm sorry about this afternoon.
It's okay.
You doing your lengths tomorrow?
It's late start at school.
Ooh, watch out, Hayley Lewis.
When's Dad coming home?
I don't know, love. Soon, I hope. Good night.
doing here?
Or your friend